Imagine working as a janitor for nearly 40 years, cleaning offices after everyone else has gone home. Most people would assume your boss earns more, lives better, and will retire wealthier. But what if the opposite happened? What if an ordinary janitor quietly built a fortune that eventually surpassed his boss's wealth? This fictional story is inspired by real investing principles, and the lessons behind it could completely change how you think about money. Meet Michael. Every evening, he arrived at the office long after executives had finished their meetings. He emptied trash cans, vacuumed carpets, polished floors, and quietly went about his work. Most employees barely noticed him. They assumed he struggled financially because he drove an old pickup truck, wore the same work boots for years, and never talked about expensive vacations. His boss, meanwhile, drove a luxury SUV, upgraded to a bigger house every few years, and enjoyed a lifestyle that looked incredibly successful. From the outside, the winner seemed obvious. But Michael understood something that many high earners never learn. A high income can make you look wealthy. Owning growing assets is what actually builds wealth. Every paycheck Michael received had a purpose. After paying his bills, he automatically invested part of his income into diversified index funds and quality businesses. The amounts weren't impressive, but consistency was. Year after year, while others upgraded their lifestyles, Michael quietly upgraded his investment portfolio. Eventually, small monthly investments became something extraordinary. Here's exactly how he did it. Michael earned far less than his boss, but unlike many high earners, he spent less than he earned every single month. Wealth begins when your spending stays below your income, not when your income reaches a certain number. Every payday, Michael invested first. He treated investing like a monthly bill that could never be skipped. By paying himself first, he never depended on leftover money to build wealth.
Whenever Michael received a raise, he didn't celebrate by buying expensive things. Instead, he increased his investment contributions. His lifestyle stayed almost the same, but his future became dramatically different. At first, nothing seemed to happen. His portfolio grew slowly, but after years of consistent investing, compound growth began accelerating. Michael didn't panic. He understood that market downturns often allow disciplined investors to buy great businesses at lower prices. Patience rewarded him again and again. Michael spent 30 minutes every evening reading books about investing, business, and personal finance. Knowledge reduced emotional decisions. Instead of following fear, he followed principles. Over time, those principles became worth far more than any single paycheck. Michael never believed he was simply buying stocks. He believed he was buying small ownership pieces of real businesses. That mindset helped him stay invested for decades instead of reacting to daily market swings. His boss focused on earning more. Michael focused on owning more. That single difference changed everything.
After nearly 40 years, Michael quietly retired. Most people still thought he had lived an ordinary life. They never realized that decades of disciplined investing had built extraordinary wealth. Ironically, his boss had earned a much higher salary over the years, but frequent lifestyle upgrades, expensive debt, and inconsistent investing prevented much of that income from turning into lasting wealth. Michael didn't become richer because he earned more. He became richer because he kept more, invested consistently, and gave time the chance to multiply his money. The biggest lesson isn't that every janitor will retire wealthier than every boss. The real lesson is that your financial habits often matter more than your paycheck. If you start living below your means, investing consistently, and thinking long-term, you'll be giving yourself the greatest advantage most people never use. Which lesson changed the way you think about money? Subscribe to Money Decoded for more fictional stories inspired by real investing principles that simplify wealth building, investing, and money psychology. This story is fictional and created for educational purposes to illustrate real investing principles. It is not financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions.